Hi, I'm Brian Ierson. I'm one of the instructors at the Computer Workshop. Today, I thought we would take a few moments to discuss artboards in Photoshop. This is a relatively new feature, and it is an interesting one, especially when we're creating artwork that we're going to put out on the web, or we want to combine multiple images into a single file so we don't have to have 5 different files. We can keep one file with 5 different artboards in it. Just makes things a little easier. We'll also take a few moments to discuss exporting those artboards. So as you can see here, I have a new blank document here, but I figured I should start by showing you creating the document. So in Photoshop, I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to choose New. You can also use your keyboard shortcut, Control N, and this will open up the new document window. Now, as soon as we go over here to Web from the list of pre-built options, I want you to notice that in your set of details, you'll notice next to the orientation is an Artboards checkbox. With this engaged, you can then add more and more artboards to your files, which is a very cool thing to be able to do. Now, of course, that begs the question, what if I were doing things for print? Could I turn on artboards? The answer, of course, is yes. But I do want you to note that as soon as we start making things for the web or for mobile, you'll notice that artboards is automatically turned on by default. Now I'm just going to go ahead here and switch this back to web. I'm going to make a small preset one here. In fact, I will make it the same size as my YouTube posters. So I'll go ahead and make this 1280 by 720 and click Create. With my new file open and my artboard there, I'm zooming out so that I can see plenty of space all the way around. You can see we have the artboard here in the Layers panel. You can expand and collapse the artboard. All layers that you add to this file in this artboard will be stored within this artboard grouping. So you can expand and collapse those by using the little arrow to the left of the name of your artboard. Now if I want to add more artboards, I want to control things, I am going to use my artboard tool. And this will be the tool that is hidden underneath the Move tool. So you can either click and hold and wait for that to pop out, or you can simply right click on that Move tool in the toolbox and open this up instantly. I'm going to choose the Artboard tool. And as we do this, you should now see little pluses next to your currently selected artboard. If you wanted to add a new artboard to this, you're going to simply come in here and click the plus. Now, there have been times where I have done this and I do not see those little pluses next to my artboard. When that happens, the way that I kind of get my controls back is I look up above into my tool options. I know that a lot of people like to have their preferences or tool options over in the properties panel. I still like mine at the top. And I can just simply click the new artboard button right there and then draw out my next artboard, and then these little pluses become active. Now that they're active, I'm going to take advantage of using them. So I'm going to just simply click the little plus that you see there, and you'll see that we now have an artboard 2. It's kind of focusing right in on this artboard. I can now add another artboard above this one, to the right, to the left of it, wherever I need. When I'm ready to start working, all that I need to do is switch back to my Move tool or any other tool in my toolbox and simply deselect that artboard and start working. Now I'm going to just draw a quick little shape here, so I'm going to just use my shape tools. I'm going to draw a shape on this and let it fill. And I am now going to go ahead and talk about exporting these. Should do one on each, because there are several ways that we can approach this. First would be to come into the main menu, File, Come down here and choose export, and you can export this as a PNG. You have the option here to export as. You can export preferences. You can still access your save for web legacy. I still really like this tool. I use it quite often so that I can compare my optimized version of the file to the original. You could actually export all of your artboard files as individual files. In order to do this, you would have to make sure that each of your artboards is in fact selected in the layers panel. So you would click the first artboard you want, hold down the shift key, and select the last artboard that you want. If they're non-consecutive, use the control key and select all of your artboards that you wish to have as separate files, and you can use this option. You can export those to PDF. So you have some interesting options right here. Now, a lot of the times I'm going to just take the express route, if you would, and that would be to collapse my artboard. I'm going to select the artboard in the layers panel, and I'm going to simply right click on this, and I can access my quick export as PNG, but I'm going to choose the export as first. And this will open up the window where I can now choose which format I would like. I'm going to change this to a GIF just for variation. I can actually come up here and adjust the scale of my project so that it is going to be larger or smaller than the original when I'm exporting this. I can add suffixes to the names. Alrighty, so I would then go ahead and choose to export this. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and just simply tap cancel, and I'm going to right click here on my artboards, and I'm going to use the export as PNG, and then I can go ahead and save this file wherever I want. So these are some of the new features of Photoshop's artboard tools. Being able to add multiple artboards so that you don't have multiple files, you have multiple artboards inside of a single file where you can store all the variations of your given file, and it just makes things easier and neater to maintain and manage. Well, that's it for this little quick tutorial. If you like what we have been presenting, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We do put out new videos on a weekly basis, so you never know what's coming up next. Until then, take care for now.